Cattle handling and its relationship to reducing stress is extremely important in any quality assurance program. What we want to do is try to move and handle livestock in a very quiet and easy manner to eliminate stress, hyperactivity, and anything that might be detrimental to the quality of an animal. Cattle are very much creatures of habit. They will do and perform in a very familiar way or a similar way from time to time. What we want to do is to be able to move, handle livestock in a way that would both be beneficial to us and that they would be put into a proper place, as well as to reduce the stress on livestock. There are two extremely important concepts that we want any young person to understand. One would be flight zone. This is a zone in which the animal would be familiar or non-familiar with an invading party. As we get in close to these animals, as we approach these animals, they will tend to observe the person as they move into the crowd, into the herd, and they're curious. They want to see who is trying to invade their flight zone. And as we get into their flight zone, they're going to move away from me because they're trying to escape. They're trying to get away from the person that's in front of them. We can use that to our advantage in moving the animals. The other concept would be point of balance. Point of balance, there is a point on the animal slightly behind the shoulder that will be the focal point or the balance of that animal. If I want that animal to stop, I need to be forward of that point of balance. If I want that animal to move forward, I need to be behind that point of balance. So as we go into this set of cattle, we're going to then show you these concepts and try to reiterate to you the movement and proper movement of livestock. And as I start moving toward them, you will see that they will start to look at me. I'm invading their flight zone. And they're going to observe me because they're wondering what I'm doing. And so they're going to turn and look at me. And as I start getting closer into their flight zone, then they're going to turn away from me. And so as I start to invade, see this animal's turning away? As I invade this animal's flight zone, he's going to move away from me. And so if I want them to calm down, I'm going to move back out of their flight zone. And I can control their movement. And so as I get over here out of their flight zone, then they're going to turn and they're going to observe me. And they're not going to move. Now if I want to go into their flight zone, then I can actually move these animals and they're observing me. But as I get into their flight zone, they're going to want to turn and move away from me. And so see these animals start moving away because I'm invading their flight zone. Okay, in this set of steers, we have 4 black steers and 1 red steer. And so in this particular example, what we would like to do is I'm going to try to maneuver these animals in a very quiet, easy manner and get the red steer to separate itself from the group. So I'm going to kind of move in and I'm going to try to crowd these animals up into some area that I feel like will be a holding area. I'm going to get behind them, kind of get into their flight zone and maneuver them down into this corner. And I'm going to be very easy, very gentle with the animals. I'm going to try to get this steer over with more of the black steers. And as I move in, I'm trying to separate the red steer, being very gentle, getting behind his point of balance, and I'm able to move this steer away from the other group. As we move animals into a crowding facility or a chute facility, animals will be in the light. And as you notice, as we approach the crowding alley, there's a darkness. Animals will hesitate going into darkness. And so they're more apt to go in toward light. So we just got to be a little easy. They like to travel kind of toward a light space. It's somewhat dark to them. And so we may use a crowding door or a panel that we can force the animals into the alleyway itself. So what you want to try to do is to prevent long stretches of straightaway that animals might want to balk. But as we approach this animal through the chute, we're going to crowd them in, and as they turn into the actual chute process, they will see light at the end of the alleyway. And as they see light, they're going to want to go toward light. And as you want to move them down the alleyway, it just becomes important that you stay behind the point of balance or behind the shoulder. Now, if I ever want to stop them, then I want to get in front of the point of balance or their shoulder, and those animals will hesitate. So as long as I'm behind their point of balance and walking along there beside of them, they will approach the alleyway and they can see light. And so with light, they will want to go toward light, and then we can close them and catch them in the chute.